Yeah, I think you cannot really define things by just, black and white. They say people who travel a lot don't really have a home, but you can also keep people at home and tell, well, we don't need to travel, although some would love to travel a bit and keep them just at home, like in prison. That's the flip side of the coin. There's always a flip side of every coin. So my ancestors definitely, as far as I can retrace it now, have been strong women, both sides. And the first one so far that I could find one in my family tree was Johanna. She was pregnant. She had a son. Well, she was not married. And as far as I can trace it from the documents I have, obviously her son inherited the farm or the yeah whatever it was. They had huge farms way back then. Of well, I suppose the father of the child. She never got married, so she raised a kid in the middle of the 18th century without being married. And this is very interesting. And of course, I tell my kids about our ancestors. It's a long, long time. I did not have any clue who they were, where they lived, what was the story behind it. But it also turned out that, like my, what is that? My great grandmother, Rosina, obviously had a very good and very strong position as a woman in as far as I can tell, she must have worked in the manufacturing of porcelain because she was a porcelain painter. Yeah, which was a very unusual job for a woman in the 30s of the last century. It's a wild family story I have, a wild one. So, and there's cousins who were suddenly brothers and then disappeared, and then I wonder who got what. And it's very interesting. So yeah, and that's what I try to convey my kids. Like they have roots, and we can only guess what, where, when, and why.